Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Go About Your Business podcast, where we talk about growing wealth, finance, and small black businesses. Of course, today we have our special guest, and we're doing finance, but make it Nigerian. We have here
Mr. Simisola and Nonso.
and Mr.
My name is Nonso.
Hi, gents. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
All right.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Y'all, we're going to get right into it. Yep. So, we're talking and we're just trying to let the guests know who you guys are. So, who is Nonso?
Okay. So my full name is Nonso. And like every child in Nigeria, names have meaning. That basically means God is close to me. My last name is Abu. I'm originally from Nigeria, eastern part of Nigeria, state. And I think that's it for now, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my name is Simisola and similar, right? Nigerian names definitely do have meaning. So Simisola means rest on the wealth of God. And then Ajumatar means wake up and don't deceive yourself. So that's what was given to me by my mom and dad. And yeah, God has been good. God has been faithful. Also, I was born here in the States, but I went back home to Nigeria for school and things of that nature. But, got a little bit of both American life and the Nigerian life as well. So yeah.
Okay. So going off of what you guys said, let's just dive into the names for now. What does your name mean to you and how you embody it every day?
Man, name is everything. The name we answer, the name I give to our children. My name is Nonso, and it's kind of makes me to be courageous every day because knowing that God is with me, and the Bible says that one with God is majority. So it makes me to be courageous, and then I can tackle any problem that faces me.
Absolutely. For me, I'm the last born of three other siblings. So my mom had me a little, most people say a little late, right? So, and at that time in her life, she was older, right? In her late 40s, almost going to 50. So when she had me, I wasn't expected, right? Planned, I guess you could say. So when she named me, she knew that I would definitely set apart. Or something special. So rest on the wealth of God essentially means to me just knowing that my problems, my journey I'm not doing it by myself. Similar that God is with me every step of the way, and I don't have to do everything in my own strength. That I can rest on the wealth and the abundance of God. And then the last one, my last name means wake up and don't deceive yourself. So just taking life with the mentality of you have to take everything seriously, but you know what you need to work on, what you need to improve on, and what you need to do to become the man that God wants you to be. So waking up every day with a level of intentionality to accomplish a bigger purpose for myself. So, yeah.
I love that. You guys went deep. My name is just Anen.
Alright, makes sense.
But it's my great grandmother's name, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. It carries this meaning. Right. But I love it. So can you guys explain to me what dialect is those names in?
Oh, wonderful. So my name, I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria, and just as a historical concept, Nigeria has three major languages, which is Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So I'm from the Igbo side, and Nonso, like I said, Chukwu is God, Nonso is kind of close to me or something like that. So it's the Igbo part of Nigeria.
Yeah. So my parents are from Ondo State. So that's on the Yoruba side. So Simisola, Simi means rest, and then so as the rest of it is on the wealth of God. So Yoruba is the language, the native language, and so that's the area that we're from. So
Okay. So, gents, as you guys know, we are all in the financial services industry.
That is correct.
Yes, and we all work in the same office and we grow together.
That's right.
So, What made you guys choose the financial services industry? Why financial services?
That's deep. So I'll start. So for me, again, money is everything, because I know there's a saying that there was a pope at some point that said, Christians, we cannot build the church with the bead of the rosary, which means they need also money to build. So for me, I worked in the banking sector in Nigeria. I worked up to an assistant manager of bank, FinBank, back in Enugu before coming to the United States. Came to the United States and I went into IT. Did that for more than 10 years before coming into the financial sector. The truth is that I didn't know I was going to be in this industry. I was just searching for entrepreneurial opportunity of training, and that was how I got in touch with my mentor, who now introduced me to the office where we work, which is in finance. And so far it's been a very wonderful journey, because I kind of learned more about money and other things. So that's my story.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I did not expect to be in it at all, right? Most parents, especially Nigerian parents, when they send you to come to school here in America, is to either become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and that's it, right? So background before was in IT. So I did computer science as a software engineer at Amazon, did AWS, that's cloud engineering, and I knew that I liked it, but I didn't like it that much to do it for the rest of my life, and I didn't even think, maybe I'll be into finance or do anything in business, but just one faithful day being at the right place at the right time at church. Here in Maryland, there's a local church called Union Church, and I met Mr. Christopher Hart. And I didn't have too much financial literacy at all. I knew a little bit about finances, or stocks and investing and stuff like that, but not really how money works. So when I came to the office for just as a guest, I showed up and I got a lot of value. I said, you know what, this makes a lot of sense, right? And no one has taught this to me. So I said, you know what, if I'm just learning this now at my age, what else don't I know about, right? And I said, one, let me become a client, let me get an IUL and everything. But then the challenge was, hey, do you know anybody else that could benefit from this information? And I said, of course I do. A lot of other Nigerian people our age don't know about this stuff, so why not get licensed part-time? Yeah. So I just got started part-time. I didn't think it would turn into what it is today, right? But I just wanted to get started part-time, make extra money, but also put my money in the right place for myself. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Okay, so telling the story of how you guys got started, we've learned and we know that the typical agent doesn't look like us, right? The typical agent is usually like a 50-year-old white man. Yeah. It's really a secluded industry of people that kind of have wealth in America. Oh, yeah. So how do you guys feel like, after you telling your stories, how you got started, how you guys were welcomed into this industry? How was that experience of you guys being welcomed into the industry? And what have you guys learned so far now being in it? I know you guys are two different stages. Simi's been doing this a little bit longer than us.
He's definitely my senior.
So how have you guys even got in? And how did you feel like, okay, now I'm not doing this part-time. Yeah. I'm getting welcomed into the industry. The average agent doesn't even look like me. Yeah. How can I even spread this message to people that look like me and make it valuable to them for their ears to even be open?
I would definitely say, like, when I see that, I see opportunity. I see more of, okay, cool, if the average person in the industry doesn't look like me, then that's already their opportunity. And when there's opportunity, that means there's a problem. And when there's a problem, it can be solved. And when you want to build wealth in America, or just in general, you have to solve problems. So I realized, okay, cool, if the average person isn't in their Gen Zs, millennial my age, and it's an older white male, I see there's a lot of first generations immigrants, a lot of people that are African in this country are first generation or maybe second generation. The reason why there's more wealth in different demographic or ethnic groups because they've been in this country for 9, 10 generations deep, right? A lot of us are on first or maybe second generation. So with that being said, there's definitely a lot of opportunity. So I saw that, I said, that's where I need to kind of maybe focus more of my attention on and, help our people, right? Because we need the most help. The other side of the welcoming is the office for sure. So being in the Beltsville office in Calverton has definitely been a pleasure. And we're blessed to have the leadership and the systems in place to take advantage where we can come in, plug into the system, learn, or like Nonso said, we have trainings and mentorship and guidance on just following the right people, and we just duplicate and copy the right people, and it's kind of taken care of for you. So it's not hard. It's very simple. From getting your license to getting the training to everything in between, it's super easy, and it's just going about there educating our own people and make it fun. So it's fun to really solve people's problems and help them build wealth for the next generation. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I might add something there, like Simi rightly said, we have the leadership in Palmerton office that is top notch. That kind of excellent leadership, but also a culture of Chris and Vesina had, who are our leaders. They've really duplicated themselves. Even when they are not in the office flows along. Yeah. Same is one of our leaders in the office, and in terms of welcoming, I mean, if you're there, you're already welcomed because they give you the opportunity, and then there are a lot of people you can consult. Like if I have something I need, I can go to Sami and say, hey, Sami, I need this. Sami says, okay, do this, and then that's it. So everybody's welcome. It's an industry that everybody's welcome. Anybody can do this business. It's just about having the passion to help other people. I think that's why we answer people helping people.
Yeah. Gents, the interesting part of like being welcome to the office, from my experience, it was little simple things like running into Chris Hard, Lily, talking to my mentors like Jerry and Eric. Because when I first got into it, I thought it was a networking meeting. I thought it was like a classic networking meeting, something that you can just jump into. And I was doing it for my podcast. Right. I was coming there and I always meet business prospects. I always talk to small business owners around the DMV. And I've been doing it for a little while now. So I was just trying to figure out, okay, how can I go meet some more people, do what I've always been doing. And when I got to the office, it was funny because Brandon and Simisola end up doing a presentation for me. So when they did the presentation, they brought us into this room, and I seen young men around my age, and I was just like, they are literally putting me on finance game. And then everybody had that same mental question. Yeah. What are y'all doing? Y'all some pyramid scheme? Is this a scam? Like, why are you giving out this information? Right. And how did I not know about this information if it was just given to me so freely? Makes sense. And when I got into the space, I was just like, So I started asking around after the whole business opportunity meeting. Yeah. And we stepped out, and I was asking a lot of different people in the crowd. I'm like, how you like it? Like, let me ask you this. Like, how do you like it here? What is it? Tell me something I don't know. Yeah. And I was just like, everybody kept on giving me the same answer. And I'm like, are they all brainwashed as a collective? I'm just trying to figure out, are they all brainwashed as a collective? What is going on? How is this even like plausible? Right? And then I end up going a week later. I end up going again to a networking meeting. It's called the African Think Tank. Yeah, I remember. And I end up running into Simi again. Right. So I'm sitting there at the African Think Tank, and I'm like, I watch him, and as he's really going to network with people, and I'm like, oh, this guy's serious about this. I have no clue who this person is. I'm like, okay, I see someone that's a little bit serious. He's my age. I'm just trying to understand, like, what is the financial services industry? What is being a broker? I didn't really understand it at that time. I'm a little bit more seasoned. I'm a little bit more seasoned. So now I've had time to be in the office, but like just kind of bringing it back in. It was just like seeing you and then understanding now, okay, this man is not only just in the office, he's also leading the office as one of the top brokers in our country, in our company, in our area. So, okay, so what is there to learn and what am I missing? So bringing it back in, both of you men have been in different spaces, different industries, right? Mm-hmm. You guys have been in IT, computer science. You said you did AWS. You said you were in IT for 10 plus years. What made you guys first see the information like me, like I did? Okay. Take it in and be like, I like the information. Right. I see the presentation. Right. It's time for me to make this career switch, or just to like see what it is a little bit more. Like, what gave you guys that push?
Yeah, again, I would like someone to get off.
For me, I got you. I would say for me, like you said, right? When you first come in, it's like, oh, whoa, there's a lot of people, or the information, like, man, this sounds too good to be true, right? That's a lot of people's mindset because we've been kind of, through social media and our lifestyle, right? And especially in this generation, things definitely do sound too good to be true, right? It's one of those things, right? But I think for me, when I saw the type of people that were there, right? One, I met some of them at church already, so I knew, okay, to some degree, these people are, credible, right? I think that matters where you meet somebody, how you meet them. But, right, like you said, when you go there, you see everyone's kind of saying a similar thing, like, man, is it all? It sounds like, what's going on here, right? Is it scripted, right? But once I gave it, what made me give it a chance was the information. I saw the information, I said, you know what, this is valid. Because one, I realized from my perspective, this is something my father should have had before he passed away. Yeah. Right? He passed away about 4 years ago, and he had kidney cancer. So him having kidney cancer, if he had a life insurance policy with living benefits and stuff like that, that would have helped my mom, helped my siblings, helped my family, right? And I saw that, I'm like, you know what, this makes sense. That was cool. But then the in-depth part of it was the nuances of how the IUL policy works, of like infinite banking, become your own bank, and I correlated to the Rockefellers. I'm like, okay, all this stuff is aligning, right? And then like you said, it's like, damn, why hasn't no one told me about this before, right? And then it goes back to the average person in the industry. The average person in the industry isn't talking to Gen Zs, millennials, people from Nigeria, Africa, Latino community. They're not. They're talking to their own people, which makes sense. And it also makes sense why someone of my background, my skin color, is able to teach me about it, right? So I became a client within immediately. That was not even a no-brainer for me. But then the challenge was, Simi, you're working as a software engineer and you don't really like it, but you know that you want to make more money. And there's not too many opportunities out there that someone can really get into to kind of just, let me just increase my income. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, why not? Why not get licensed part-time? I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Mm-hmm. So I got licensed part-time, and it definitely was like an eye-opener because I was able to make extra income like fast. I was able to make an extra $1,000-$2,000 within my first month, 2 months. I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. I felt like I just cracked the code or something. I'm like, I can print money like that. Part-time, extra $1,000, $2,000 goes a long way for people, And I'm like, you know what? This is making some sense, And then I did it. It just kept coming, help a client a month, 2 clients a month, and I just started to get better and improve. And then I realized, you know what? This is a potential career change here because I started to eventually make more part-time than my full-time job being a software engineer. And then I'm like, hold on, this is kind of crazy, both incomes coming in, but more importantly, it was the passion and, like Nonso said, to be able to help people. And then it was also the fact that I'm really putting wealth back into the community and changing people's lives with information they otherwise didn't know about. And when that comes together, it's a no-brainer, and I feel like definitely God accelerated, I think, my success, I guess. And it just kind of took off from there, and I didn't look back. So I was able to walk away from being a software engineer once I had more income here part-time. So I can only imagine what I could do full-time if I put more time towards it. So from there, it was just more purposeful, more impactful, and I realized, the career switch was a no-brainer for me, for sure. So that's kind of the main thing about it. It's really purpose, impact, and as a byproduct of that, you'll make a lot of income. So yeah.
I love that response.
Sammy, that sounds really good. Yeah, so for me, it's a little bit different from Sammy's, experience. So for me, like I said earlier, I worked in the software engineering for more than 10 years. I think started 2014. So I kind of done that for a little bit long, and with the blessing of God, I was able to kind of basically do some investments. And once I realized that my investments can take care of my mortgages, kind of what I went into real estate and diversify my investment. We're like, okay, since I can stay without working and then my investments are paying for itself, then maybe I should go do business. And I was like, it was just, every day I woke up, it disturbs me. I need to go into business. I mean, I was making money as a sports. I was no more, I had seen the purpose. So then it was difficult for me to make that switch because we are making money and then, but eventually I had to go to Nigeria because one of my sons was going to start school. So my first son. So I was going to take a little bit longer time. So I approached my company, said I need to do this long travel. So, like when you work in corporate America, they kind of find reason to do something. They say, okay, you know what? we're actually trying to eliminate that position, but we're not gonna. It's not like we're gonna fire you. We're gonna pay you severance. Yes, we pay you 3 months in advance, and then just like what happened in the federal government. So I said, okay, I'll take it. Wow. So they kind of paid me in advance, and then kind of, I've not told anybody story, but when my manager came to announce that to me, he was gonna tear up. Oh, I said, no, God have answered my prayer. He said, really? Yeah. He said, I'm glad that you took it that way. I said, yes, because it's difficult for me to resign. So I see that it's the right time. So I left work. I was happy. But again, because I've never been an entrepreneur, it was difficult to know where to start, because it happens in the journey of an entrepreneur. You wake up in the morning because you have no boss. It's a little bit difficult. You have time, but what are you going to do with the time? So I started this AWS business. So set it up, got my brand registered and everything, my onedeal.com. So got that started, got some product made in China and then shipped directly to AWS. Got that online and then it was coming along. So initially I was like, I need to market this product. I didn't know what to do. So I was moving from office to office, and I woke up in the morning and trying to take the product out to the market. So, but it was a difficult work. So then I said, okay, I can also look for contracts with the government. I have a company, American Working Group registered. And then I went to Howard County, which is my county, said, I can do contracts, you guys sign me up. They said, no, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that you need to bid for contracts. And then, in fact, in one of the offices, the lady said, probably you need some training. I was like, oh, yeah, I think I do. So then I came out, I was in the parking lot. I was kind of depressed, man, nothing is moving. And then I came up with my laptop, I did some research. I didn't even go home, I was in the parking lot. Then I was going through that, I saw this entrepreneurial seminar covered and free enterprise. I said, yeah, maybe I will just go there. Yeah, that's it. So that was how the next Saturday, dressed up sharp, they say dress corporate or something. And I came there, it was like, what's going on here? A lot of people moving. Yeah, but I ended up, when I now realized it was insurance, I was not going to go in, because other people have told me, come do this. I said, no, I don't want to work actively again. Yeah. I want to stay one place, maybe let my stuff work by itself. Yeah. So I didn't want to, but like you said, the information was really very deep that I have to think about it over and over again. Right. I hope I'm not taking too much time.
No, we're listening. It's a podcast.
Yeah, so after that, I'm like, okay, if I don't know this before, a lot of people don't know about it. Oh, yeah. And I came in for the knowledge, because from October when I started, November, December, January, I was not doing any business. I was just coming, listen and go. I'm not like, so you remember when I met in Las Vegas, when you get to know, I said, yeah, good, I'm very proud of you. Yeah. So he said, you can do it too. I said, this guy don't understand. Yeah, but eventually, after the big event in Las Vegas, coming back home, I was like, maybe I'll give this a try. Let me just give this a try. That was first one. I'm like, okay, let me do this.
Speaking off of what you just said, even you said you started in the first 3 months and you weren't even doing any activity. Yes. And then you said, let me give this a try. I find that so interesting, because from February to now, you kind of just exploded your way through. As soon as you decided to give it a try.
I hope that's an explosion.
No, as soon as you decided to give it a try, you just started making money after money.
That is so
now you see Nonso at the office, and you see appointment after appointment, and I'm like, okay, am I doing something wrong? Maybe I need to speed up a little bit. Need to give this a little bit harder of a go.
It makes sense, man. Yeah. That's how it goes.
And what I love is that, like how you guys just said, you guys came from two different stories, two different reasons.
Yes.
Simi was sitting at his job, and he's like, okay, yeah, I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
You're sitting here like, my job said peace, and I'm gonna take it. You said goodbye, I said good riddance. one day I talked to you and you even told me, you're like, it's difficult for me to be intrigued by the money because I make money myself. You see? And it's like, my conviction or my reason for becoming an agent is not the financial. I'm not crazy. It's just off the leadership, the business skills that I'm really in for. You know, when I came into the business, it was for finances. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the same typical thing, and it wasn't like I was in school. I was also doing my podcast. I was bartending, and I was just like, I can't keep on running like a machine. You know, I know I have a brain. I know I can use it. And like we said, I know African people got a different type of hustle. So how could I combine the skills that I know and that I'm already doing and then start to make an income out of this? But what I love typically is what you said, Simi, when you said your father passed away and that it affected your family negatively and that you knew that this information would have been good for someone like your father. Helpful for someone like your father. But now taking that type of heartache and actually taking your own leadership to say, I won't have that experience for my family. How have you been helping other families that look like you, act like you, talk like you in your culture to now take their mind off of like, oh, it's a scam or I don't know what life insurance is and just kind of educate them about the benefits of life insurance and what it could do for families to kind of set them apart from an experience like yours?
Yeah, absolutely, good question. I think the biggest thing is just like you said, is using your story as a testimony. I think that's what the whole point of a testimony. The first part is test. You got to go through the test yourself before you can testify and tell other people about it, right? And that's the whole point about it. So you're supposed to be used as a catalyst, as a tool for your purpose. And I think everything for sure happens for a reason. Nothing happens by accident. So I think definitely God used that as a turning point for me in my life to kind of wake me up and give me a perspective, like you said, to share with my community. There's a lot of us that our parents that immigrate from Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, you name it, for America, for what? More opportunity. That's right. But the problem is we come to this country and we don't take advantage of all the opportunity that's here. We just kind of are stuck in the ways of, hey, do it this way, and then hopefully it gets us to where we want to get to. When America's changing. You know, America of 1970, 1950, 1960 is not the same America of 2000, 2025 today. So that means you have to do things differently. One is the entrepreneurship. Nowadays in America, your one source of income is not going to cut it. With the rise of cost of inflation, things of that nature, people kind of have to find the ways to make extra income, make more money. Now, the second part is the financial planning and estate planning, right? Most parents don't have, or especially African parents, don't have things in place when it comes to 401ks, IRAs, right, stuff like that, and there's no retirement future. So they don't know about an IUL or an annuity or a private pension, right? And then let alone the basics of having the right type of life insurance. Most people think, hey, I got to do my job, I'm good. Yeah. That's not going to cut it. You need the one outside of your job that has living benefits where if you suffer from cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, something happens to you, right, where you're protected. Your sons and your daughters don't have to take student loans out, right? We see other families, their kids don't take student loans. College is paid for, right? Because they have certain things in place. And like you said, the stigma, I think, is the big thing. The stigma behind it is, oh, it's too good to be true or it's a scam. That's the unlearning that needs to be done behind it, right? Because the problem is when you put something good in front of somebody, most people look at it as, okay, cool, this could be good, but is there a catch? Is there somebody trying to one-up me? Who's going to benefit off of ... right? People have a negative victim mindset of like, hey, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the real reason why we get compensated so much is to help solve that problem.
I mean, like, but do you blame them?
Yes and no. The reason being is because I don't blame the lack of ignorance or the lack of information. What I blame is, okay, cool, once you've been presented or you've seen the information, and you don't do anything to change it and expect a different result, that's the problem. Yeah. Because most likely they did have a loved one who passed away and they didn't have anything in place. Most likely they have had an aunt, uncle, cousin, something happened to them and nothing happened, right? So what happens is if you see that and then you look at it, it's like, okay, cool, that happened. What am I going to do about it? The problem is people will go through things and they don't make any changes, right? Does that make sense? So the problem is, hey, I'll see that happen to this family and then you don't learn from that.
Okay.
Right? So at that point, is it your fault? Yes, it's your fault. You should have learned from someone else's mistake. Or you go through it yourself. Yeah. Does that make sense? So that's the concept where it's like, because we live in America. Yeah. It's not like the information's not there for you. It's there. Are you seeking truth? I think everyone should be seeking truth versus seek our opinion, our perspective, or our own opinion about something, you know? Because, you know, a lot of clients will say, oh, I'm going to do my own research. You're not going to do any research, bro. You're going to kind of like just think about it. I want to. You're not.
Yeah.
So, like, you might as well go with a licensed professional that you trust. I get it. Because it's all about trust. Mm-hmm. Who do you trust to help you do ... Right? Do I trust my doctor? Yeah, you go to the doctor that you trust. You don't go to the doctor that you like. No, you go to the doctor you trust. You don't go to the mechanic that you like. You go to the mechanic that you what? Trust. So whatever profession or field you're going to somebody for, go to this person that you know, love, or trust.
That's right.
And then from there, it makes sense. So
makes sense.
that's the biggest thing. But I get where you're coming from on the, can you blame them? I don't. I only blame them until whether they've gone through something and then they don't learn from their mistake, or they have a loved one or someone in their community that has gone through something and they don't learn from their mistake. Mm-hmm. At that point, it's your fault.
Also, like your last statement is very compelling, because do you have to go through something to learn? Because again, they say a wise child should not wait to experience it to learn. Right. You learn from other people's mistake. So it's kind of strange that even to today, I don't know if it happened to you, but some people still mock a life insurance agent or trying to help you. Yeah. You
don't we all know?
In fact, one of them I was like, mock me because it's a fuel for me.
It is.
I was talking with him. He was like, Nonso, do you now do door to door? I was like, this guy, you mocked me, but that's fine. In fact, that was a fuel for me. Right. I said, because you said this, I want to show you when I get that $1 million check. Yeah. And that is me now. Right. Because I like you to mock me. Right. But again, having to say that, say you pointed something else again, that some people think that when they get their job, life insurance, that's it. No. And when you lose your job, you lose the life insurance you have. Exactly. So like Sam is saying, there is something that's called living benefit. Right. So that have any of those things that you lose to life skills that you normally have, brushing of teeth and stuff like that, then this insurance company will pay you so that sustain your life longevity and then save you through medical bills. Mm-hmm. This is something that people are not talking about enough. Mm-hmm. And what about our kids? Mm-hmm. So what about getting these kids situated for life? Mm-hmm. Because if you're able to lock them in, now they're younger, and then they have some policy that is now up to $50 or maybe above, a little bit above $50, and they are set up for life.
And that's the best part, you know. It's just like going off of what both of you guys are saying. It's like you can't blame somebody, and I always ask that question, can you blame them? But it's like, in truth, when God makes you aware, now he gave you responsibility.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, because
exactly. Knowledge comes with responsibility.
Yes, knowledge comes with responsibility. Yeah. Because the more you know, the less people can trick you. And it's always based off of who you trust. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it does make an experience sucky if you can't trust someone. Mm-hmm. Because now I don't know what you're telling me is true or not. Mm-hmm. And you know, a lot of times, especially in our culture, we're all going to the next thing. We experience that a lot in the African community. We're all trying to grow. We all come from a level of poverty within our countries and something. So we're always trying to sell something and try to get ahead. So sometimes when we come to our communities, they don't know whether what we're saying is true. Yeah. Sure. And you know, they might not have a level of trust within us. And it's just like, okay, how do I break that stigma first? And create a level of trust within my community and my clients. And then use that support that we do have in our community. Because we have that communal support. We have that cultural support. How do I now get that trust within them and now put that into my agency? So how have you guys been implementing that?
Okay.
Who's going to take it first?
I think like you said, it's that's why I'm built on, and people don't understand it, but like any big business, any successful company, anything that you could think of that was able to grow and expand, you kind of have to influence. And influence is essentially comes down to the similar concept of recruiting. If you have a mindset of I want to build something, you have to influence people. How do you influence people is you have to have the numbers, but also the truth on your side, right? We think of the faith of Christianity, right? Jesus said, hey, I'm going to build my foundation on 12 people, 12 disciples. And through them, I'm going to build my church, spread the gospel. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to do it by myself or do it alone, right? Because if one person can only help so many people. But if you go out there and say, hey, I want to expand, I want to grow something, it requires people, right? Like you said, community. So if I'm able to build, recruit, teach, and train and empower people, right? Not just educate and empower people, then through there, you can make real change, right? So like you said, some people have a background of like, hey, I'm coming from Nigeria, I'm coming from Africa, of, someone trying to win on me, someone's trying to, trying to scare me. When you get someone a policy, the idea behind it is, hey, they're paying a premium. They're paying for something, which makes sense, right? They're getting value back of living benefits, IULs, all these different concepts, right? But if you said, hey, you know what? Are you open to getting a license? Are you open to maybe doing it part-time? That's a different switch of like, hey, I'm trying to put something in your pocket, in you versus, hey, get this policy just so you can get, which is good, both is great. But if I'm trying to empower them, teach them how to fish instead of just giving them fish, right? Now their perspective is different of it. Because that's why the average person in the industry is an older white male. The reason why the average person is an older white male is because they said, hey, I'm going to recruit other people just like me. Yep. And from there, that's how it expanded, and that's why it has been dominated by the older Caucasian male. Not just because there's more of them in the country, no, because they're intentional about recruiting their own people and empowering them. And not everyone has to be the biggest person or the biggest builder. No, hey, do it part-time, make extra income. If you do it part-time, get a license and make extra income, you're going to believe in what I'm offering you or what the person that you're Even more. Yes. You have a high level of conviction about it. So it makes sense why the most insured people in the country are Jewish, Asian, and Caucasian people, because there's most of them in the what? Industry. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. So the thing about it is that's where it comes down to just empowering and teaching people. So for me and my team, right, I'm big on diversity, just everybody, right, Gen Zs, millennials, older people, younger people, but I'm big on teaching someone how to go out there and make extra income so they can know more about what they do, so they can empower their people. If you can find leaders in different community, it's easier to attract more people and put more wealth back into the community of our demographic, of the African community more easily. So that's my mindset, that's my goal behind it. It's just empowering, teaching, educating, leading more people in the industry. And as a default byproduct, more people will get life insurance, more people will get annuities, learn more, because we're teaching, empowering, and bringing more people into the industry.
Yeah, so Sammy, thanks. This rubs off one of the mantras of our leader in the office, Chris Hart, which says, when you serve more, you earn more. Yeah. So like Sammy said, sometimes people will be like, from our community, some of them will say, I want to get the policy, I don't want to do this stuff, I don't want to call people. I can understand that. But the principle, I think part of what your podcast is doing is to diffuse some misgiving about insurance agency. Yeah. Because what we're doing is we're actually building an agency. Some people think that we want them to come and become an agent. Yeah. But we are building a company. Yeah. We're building a brokerage. Yeah. We're not going to go knocking on people's door. That will not give us 7 figures. But we're here but we have to do it to start. Because nobody comes and start from the top. Everybody. Everybody, yes. All our leaders, they will tell you how they got their license. So that is a step to wealth. So the truth, if I'm talking to you, listening at home, if you are from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, any part of Africa you are, and you are here, don't think that when we ask you to come join us, we're just asking you to go call people on the phone and stop them. No. We're trying to build wealth together. We're trying to build something bigger than us. So because you cannot do it alone, like Semi said. How many doors will you knock on? The guy that said, I'm knock on doors, or how many people can you call? So we're trying to build an agency. We're trying to build a company. And we just want you guys to understand that we're just trying to make wealth with you. So
amen to that. Because I've been telling y'all, Some listen, some don't. But you know, one of the biggest things that I love about actually joining the agency and just kind of learning about the brokerage, it's not even like we're trying to build. We are. You know?
I agree.
We are. Like, this has been around a lot longer than we have even been alive. And if you read books like Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, you start to hear about the history that they erased within our own race about life insurance, how it helped people like Martin Luther King, how it started and even funded like the I Have a Dream speech. So many people don't even know things like that, little gems, because those things are what gives you that conviction that you just said. Absolutely. You know, I became a life insurance agent, and it's so funny because my friend here is the one who actually sent an agent my way, probably like when I was 22. Wow. And I was like, life insurance is a scam. Like, this is for me when I die, when they try to kill me early. Like, I don't want nothing to do with that, because why am I paying to die? But I realized, not even a good 5 years later, how that statement 3 years ago was ignorant, you know? And it's funny because it's like, wow, how much you can learn in such little time.
That's right.
And now it's like something that I thought was like waiting to kill me is actually being a source of more life.
That's right.
You know?
Right. Absolutely.
And it's like when you try to, like you just said, give that conviction to someone else, educate or lead a new legacy. You know, you're trying to also help them understand that I'm putting you on game. I'm not scamming you. I'm not trying to pull you away from your job. It's literally asking you the question, what do you want out of life? Are you ready to go get it out of life?
That's good.
What can I help you go get out of life? And how can we all grow together to get it together? And it's like, when I come, and like you just said, the podcast helps break stigmas. My main goal here is to also understand within our community. I'm not Nigerian. I'm a girl from Ivory Coast and Cameroon. You know what I'm saying? But as I go, sometimes I talk to people. I have family that comes here all the time. There's always someone new coming, touching down in the country. And they're sitting there trying to figure out, how do I gain wealth in America? And they get slapped in the face when they always realize, like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. There's a song called Gau Apari. And it was literally about the experience of touching a westernized country and actually getting slapped with the reality. The cold. How people are for themselves. How everything is like not as communal as the regular culture of Africa is. Now, how do I survive in a space that people don't look like me, are not in community, but I don't know how to make wealth, but my goal is to bring wealth back to Africa. So now knowing, and we all kind of have that similar goal of bringing wealth back into the diaspora, back into Africa, how do you even talk to people that look like you, talk like you, and just kind of change their mindset to get them intrigued to join that agency to help the good fight?
That's a good question. I would say the biggest thing is you just got to be the example first. Even when I first got started, I was definitely just like, you know what, this makes sense for me to make some extra income part-time, right? And I didn't even switch to the mindset of, hey, I want to build a team, help other people. But people do go off of an inspirational example. So you have to win big. You have to win big fast. You have to get to where you want to get to by bringing value, right? And also talk about it, the more you serve, the more you earn. So if you can increase your income and see people, and lifestyle matters, and especially in our community, people are definitely visual learners, so they're seeing you elevate, increasing your own mindset, your lifestyle, things that they want for themselves. They're gonna be like, you know, what's this person doing? Like, how are they able to get this? How are they able to get that? And that's the reality of it. So from there, you can attract the right people. That's the attraction mindset of being able to attract people that also are vibrating at the same capacity, that want better for themselves. Because the ideal thing is this: we want everyone to win. But the problem is, because of our mindset, like you said, prior background experiences, it hinders a lot of people. Right. And it takes time to break that hold, especially in our community. So for us to build wealth and then take it back to Africa, it's going to require more of us making more income increasing our value to society. Because our income is a direct reflection of the value we're bringing to people. So if we can bring more value, increase our income, make more money, right, and be good stewards of the resources that God has given us, we can inspire, change, and motivate other people to do the exact same thing. And the idea behind it is it may not just be in our industry, it could be any industry, right? Me personally, like Nonso said, the whole point is we're building a community and a network. Yes. I don't expect everyone that's going to come on my team to be me or be the capacity of me. But if they just want to be a referral partner, get licensed, and just refer people, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Right? They're making extra income part-time, passively, just referring other potential clients to me or to people on the team. That's valuable right there. Mm-hmm. And then maybe as time persists and goes on, they've helped a couple clients, they're seeing extra income. They may or may not want to take it more seriously, but they're still doing something in the industry, in the business, to bring more value. Because not everyone has to operate in the capacity. We're building a company. Not everyone can be the CEO of Amazon. So that's a two people, right? Not everyone can be the CEO or the senior pastor of a church. That's like one or two people that lead the church, right? But everyone plays their role. If everyone can play their role in the big vision of the movement, what we're trying to do, that's what matters the most. And that's how we bring the most amount of change to people. So I feel like that's the main thing for me.
That is deep.
Yeah.
That is deep, Simi. Okay, but let me add something to what Simi just said. Yeah. It's like a network of people. Again, the purpose of us being here is kind of illuminate what we're doing, and then also how you at home can also look at it from a different perspective. Everybody is not going to be Jeff Bezos, like Simi said, but everybody can become financially independent. So if you can get 1,000 extra a month, 2,000 a month, I mean, it could help your family. Yeah. So I think what this makes is that if you're willing to take the challenge to do part-time and earn money, then consider the life insurance agency, because you're helping people, you're making impact in our community, and then also you're earning money doing that. So I think it's a no-brainer for anyone that want to do it.
I love that, because it is a no-brainer. Let me throw that in there, because I'll make it a little bit. a little bit. But let me ask you, Simi, as a broker in our office, right, you have had the privilege to earn a lump sum in certain months. What is the most that you have made in your time here in the industry? And how do you feel like you were able to earn that much in doing what you're doing now?
It's a good question. I would say, me personally, right, and I think, like, I would say this, I never thought I'd be where I'm at now, right? But it's all glory to God. That's the first thing. I got to give it to God, right, to direct my steps. I think it's just intentionality, right? When you're working as a software engineer, the maximum you can make is what, maybe $5K a month, $6K a month. Let's say you've been a senior person, maybe $8K if that, right? This is after taxes, right? In the financial services industry, it's a value-based business. The service that we're providing, it has immense value. That's why these companies compensate us so much. That's the first thing, because you're solving a problem and you're solving a generational gap. So for me personally, part-time, when I was doing the business, I was making an extra 5, 6, 7K a month part-time, which is life-changing, right, on top of my full-time job. For me to scale, to increase my income, definitely requires more intentional effort, right? You bring more value to more people. For me, right, when I was part-time, the highest I made in 1 month part-time was like $20,000 when I did part-time, still have my full-time job. Then from there, when you scale it, right, and you're now putting in more effort into it, you're building a team, you're servicing maybe more higher identity clients, right, things of that nature, I was able to make maybe in 1 month like $40,000 in 1 month. And I look at that, I'm like, that's not possible in being IT. And no one in my family's last name can ever say, hey, they made $20,000, $10,000, $30,000 US dollars in 1 month. That's already a generational curse that's been broken on my family's last name, right? And it's only up from there, right? But that's because of the value that we're providing to people. When you're a broker, you get you get more, I would say, incentives for compensation because you have a team, you're leading more people, and like you said, with more responsibility, with great power comes more great responsibility. So I would say the goal for me is I want to be able to help empower people. So I'm going to always go and serve clients, but it's about who are you training, who are you teaching to duplicate what you're doing. The reason why Chris Hart is where he's at, he's making millions of dollars, because he's been able to duplicate himself into a lot of people to do what he does at either the same level or even a better scale, right? So for me, that's my goal, because a lot of the income that I've made is active. And just now in 2025, I've been experiencing a lot more passive income, and I've been seeing the change in my lifestyle, because if I'm training, serving, and teaching people, I'm seeing my income scaling without even me having to do a lot of stuff myself. And that's the whole goal. Most people go into business is because they want their business to compensate them even if they're not running it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of most people going into business. So you have to find your way to duplicate yourself and scale. So, but outside of that, you can make a lot of money by yourself personally helping clients because you're giving value. And I think the biggest thing is what we're seeing currently in America's economy. The reason why the insurance industry booms during a recession or during kind of bad times for other people is because people need what we have the most. Not just IULs and insurance policies, but also something called annuities. Annuities are another type of retirement account that allows you to roll over a lump sum of money tax-free for the client. So if a client has 100K, 200K, 300K, $1 million plus into an old 401k or IRA, you help them with that transfer of wealth, you get compensated a substantial amount of income, right? Because you're helping them with wealth transfer. So if you're doing a lot of those, especially in this economy right now where people are getting laid off from their jobs, things of that nature, you will make a lot of money, a lot of wealth, because the person who is in the middle helping with that transfer of wealth, you get compensated a lot for sure. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been eye-opening to see. I never thought I'd be able to make the type of income I'm at now in my life, but that's all glory to God and all Him just being able to put me and position me in the right place, but also being ready to receive as well. So yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. Nonso, my question for you is, you said that you started to actually put your elbows in it in February.
Yeah.
We have March, we have April, we have May. We are now in June.
That's right.
How have you actually decided to take initiative and push yourself forward in this industry? How has that been able to help your income rise?
Okay, yeah. So for me, it's a different story because I'm still starting, right? So, yeah, but like Semi said, it's about intentionality. So for now, I'm like, okay, let me show what is possible. So just trying to show what's possible and then trying to push a little bit harder. And I see I'm getting results. But the only thing that encourages me is that I know I'm operating at a very low percentage. So even now, some people say, okay, you're doing very well in the office. I know that I'm here. My effort is here. So I know that if I really scale, that I can actually come up. So that encourages me because, we've not really done anything. So, but it's a blessing in the environment where I see people winning, and I see that it's possible for people that look like me to get 6 figures in a month. It's possible. Because again, if you know what's possible, then you can have a vision of it. So when I see that, I'm like, how many people will need this information in our community? So then there's something Semi said which I want to kind of pitch back on. So when we move annuity, which is your retirement, 401k, TSP, 403b. So when we move that to insurance, we kind of securing it. But not one thing. When the insurance is not paying us off your money, no. The insurance already have money they used to pay the agent that brings that money that secures it. So they're not going to take your retirement and give to the agent. No, they pay the agent from their own money. They actually give bonuses for you to move your money from your old 401k to annuity. And annuity will pay you for your whole life. So you will never run out of money. That is what I saw when I was looking at the illustration. You'll see like maybe you are 99 years and you have only 1,000 year annuity, and probably it was scheduled to pay 10,000 every month. The next month you get 10,000, even though you have $100 left. So it will continue to pay you until you die. So that is beautiful.
And I love that you guys said that, especially the fact that how wealth is transferred. Simi, I know exactly where that was said. When there's a transfer of wealth and you are the middleman, you also become wealthy. You know? Why? It's the same thing with wholesale real estate. It's the same thing with real estate. Anything that has a level of commission and you're in that transfer of wealth, money's flowing. Money's a currency. You will get splashed with some. You will get splashed with some. And that is just the reality of it. But now, as we talk about different ideas of, like you just said, educating people and how it raises income, let me ask you this. You guys yourselves gotten a policy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How has your policy that you took out for yourself been able to help you out or help the ideas that you are now building for the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a video on my Instagram talking about it, right? I was able to use my IUL policy to purchase a brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG, right? Where I was able to borrow against the cash value, just like we tell our clients they can. And I was able to do that for myself, right? So I borrowed against it to buy my own car, right? Also use it to purchase real estate as well in the lower area. So the whole idea of it is just that infinite banking concept where when you fund your policy enough, there's enough cash value in it, you're able to leverage it and you utilize it for any purposes, right? So when I did that myself, definitely my conviction skyrocketed because I'm like, man, the same things I'm telling people that they can do, I'm doing, right? So it's not cap, right? It's not cap at all. So it's the truth. So when you do that, it's just like, man, we're really helping people in the community out, right? People don't know that they can set up a private pension, like Nonso said, right, through an annuity, and you can do it through IUL, right? Most people want pensions, they can't get them anymore. They don't know where to go to get a pension. If you have an IUL or an annuity, you can create your own private pension, right, through life insurance, right? And the concept of being able to leverage your assets to buy other assets, that's a concept the wealthy do all the time. They've been doing for generations. But our people don't know about it, right? Because there's a lack of education and lack of representation of us in the industry. So just seeing the accounts that I've been able to set up for myself and everything between has definitely put a smile on my face and know, okay, cool, my financial future is set. Unlike, unfortunately, a lot of people out there who have 401ks and Roth IRAs. Not saying nothing's wrong with those, but probably not the best wealth account to utilize if you want to retire and if you want to actually have some type of financial independence in the future, right? So just seeing what we do for clients is valuable, but then also implementing in my own life has been a breath of fresh air, and it definitely gives you more conviction to go out there and help serve other people so they can be aware of what they're missing out on or what they're not informed about, for sure. So, yeah.
So let this be a teaching moment. Let me ask you, why would you say a 401k or a TSP or 403b, is it technically the best to put your money into?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's just we go over this concept all the time, the 3 ways money grows and then something called the 5 homes of money. The biggest thing is everyone's financial foundation, not everyone, a majority of America, 90% of America's financial foundation is actually flipped upside down. What most people are taught is, hey, invest into stocks, then go buy a home, and then maybe have some savings, and then you get a life insurance policy, right? Not realizing, hey, you have it the opposite. Wealthy people first put a lot of their wealth in insurance-based assets, like whole life, IULs, and annuities. Why? Because they're guaranteed to be safe. So if I'm putting my money in a 401k, I'm deferring taxes till later. Historically, have taxes gone up or have they gone down? They've gone up. So that means I'm putting my money in an account that's going to get taxed later at a higher tax rate when there's more money in that account. Who does that really benefit? Not us. It benefits the government or the IRS, people doing the taxing. So when you look at it that way, it doesn't make sense. Hence why a lot of wealthy people in our country don't have 401ks, 403bs, or TSPs. But it's pushed on the average American, like, for example, my mom. The reason this information hits home for me, because I remember talking to my mom, asking, hey, Mom, what do you currently have? Most of us, especially in the Nigerian community, they just taught, hey, put money in your 401k and don't look at it. And hopefully you'll be good when retirement comes.
That's right.
That's bad financial planning right there, right? So I asked her, and she's like, oh, yeah, just put money. And she goes to check it, and she's not happy. Why? Because she sees that her account for retirement has gone down drastically. That's right. This was during COVID. So she sees her value, her account losing value, and realizing she's going to probably have to keep working into her 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's most the reality for most Americans because they've been sold a dream and a lie. Put money in your 401k and you'll be good. Not realizing, no, you're going to run out of money in your 401k because it doesn't cover your income for the rest of your life. If you start taking money from your 401k, eventually the account will hit zero. Right. But like Nonso said, if you have an annuity and your account hits zero, no, you're still getting a check for the rest of your life. That's the difference. So just stuff like that is why it doesn't really make sense for most Americans to only have a 401k. Now, if your job is giving you a match and stuff, cool, maybe if that's up for you, to take advantage of it.
That's right.
But that should not be your only source of retirement. If that's your only source of retirement, you're going to have problems in the near future for sure, and you're not going to be happy. So that's where we do a lot. We're doing a lot of rollovers right now, especially in this season of America's economy, and people are seeing that, hey, this annuity thing, this IUL thing makes more sense, right? And yeah, so that's the idea behind the 401k, 403b. It's essentially a tax trap, especially when it was invented. It was invented in 1960. Would I use a phone that's invented in the 1960, 1970 today in 2025?
No.
Probably not. So why would I be using a wealth building tool that was invented back in the day now in 2025? Doesn't really correlate for most people, but it goes back to lack of education.
So, yeah. I wanted to add to what Simi have said, right? So these are questions that a client can ask. You're selling this to me, do you have it? Like Simi already said, he kind of went into it and then did some investment from it. So for me, it's kind of, I have a bigger family, I have 4 kids. So when I got this information, I was like, before now we used to put some money for them to savings account, but I know that savings account, it grows only with 0 to 0.9%, which kind of, inflation overpasses it. So it's not a good way to keep money. And then we talk about, okay, what about the stock market? Yes, like Semi said, anything that goes up comes right down. So then we have the other alternative, which is the index annuity, which you have a fixed index annuity and the universal life insurance. So for what we now did is, hey, we put in this $100 for you guys in your account. We now switch it to an IUL. So all the 4 of them got IUL, and then that money that goes to savings account now hits their IUL. And we found out that by the time they are 20, they'll be having like 30,000 that they can actually use for whatever they want. And I will say for you, if you are parents listening to us, if your kids don't have IUL, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you, honestly. Then in terms of annuity, before selling it, I personally, I'm like, okay, before I go sell this, let me do it myself. Kind of put my wife's retirement into that, and then my own retirement, kind of pushed it into annuity. And when I go through illustration, I was blown away. So I can't come to you to talk to you if I don't have it.
Yeah.
So I already have that, and I know that I'm okay. So I want you to be okay also.
Everybody want to be okay. And I feel like that is the main thing, and I feel like that's what's most important, especially about talking to our community. As we're foreigners, especially of this country, whether you have a citizenship or not, we're not originally of this land, and part of not being of this land is that you're often not educated about the finance schemes, the wealth strategies, and just different ways of the land, But now that we're getting taught, and we're also becoming a majority in our industry, because we're coming hard, like we are also bringing other people. Some people might not want to listen, but regardless of whether they want to listen or not, we're still growing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For the people who do want to listen. Right. I just want to ask, how are you encouraging and now kind of switching the mindsets of African people, of your clientele, when you show them this information? How has it been for the experience of the light bulb to go off and then actually just show them that this is a step to generational wealth for us as a people? What methods have you guys been using personally to not only just, hey, client, I showed you this information, I've also given you an opportunity, but I'm kind of checking in with you to now follow your journey of how this can benefit you, and I'm not lying to you. Like, let's see, is your money growing? Let's see, at the end of the year, can we do our checkups? Like, how have you been doing that in your own business to add a little bit more conviction to your clientele?
Yeah, I would say definitely like you said, follow-ups, resources, but I would say, like you said, just doing your due diligence as a fiduciary professional, checking in with them, doing annual reviews every 6 months, every year. I don't know until you haven't been here for years, so you probably haven't done that yet. But when you're gonna do it soon, we're do a 1 year check-in or a 6 month check-in. So for my clients that have been clients of mine for over a year plus, that's what I do. I check in with them, kind of see where they're at currently, if they want to contribute more, if they want to take a loan from their policy or borrow from it, right? Like we tell them they can. And then from there, at that point, once you have that, and that's why tenure and experience is key. If you don't have it yourself, you have to borrow from others. So for me, when I was in that position, I wasn't an agent for a year. I don't have anybody to, check in with, right? But I can leverage experience of others like Chris or other people in the office, right? And leverage that until I build my own and get my own. So now that I have my own, I just show, hey, this is my client. They've been with me for a year or two. This is their growth. Yeah, this is proof, right? Right there, right? Yeah. This is my client dumping in money into a policy on Monday, taking out cash next week, Friday. It's the proof is right here, right? And when they see that, they're like, dang, all right, this makes sense. It's not happening. It's true,
that's
right?
Gas.
Right? So at that point, it's like there's nothing you can say, right? Now it's all it is. It's just up to them coming to their own conclusion of, hey, does this make sense based off seeing the evidence? Does that make sense? That's most people. It's like, hey, I need to see the evidence. What's the evidence? Where's the historical performances? What's the proof in the pudding to be able to say, this makes sense for me to also implement, right? So from there, that's kind of mainly it. But in that beginning process, when you're building your own book of business, building your own clientele basis, and you don't have that yet, you got to leverage those who do have the experience, who have went through it, right? And until you build your own, right? And then from there, it makes sense. It's a no-brainer. So when a lot of clients see that, they see other examples of other people doing it, it gives them a more, hey, this makes sense for me to also implement for myself as well. So yeah, that's mainly it.
So, gents, let me say this. The life insurance agency is a competitive industry.
Yes, it is.
Right? Mm-hmm. We're not the only agents because life insurance is going around all across the country.
Yeah.
How has your own cultural identity and your own cultural work ethic that you guys got through your families help actually push you to compete as an agent in this space and actually rise against your peers and your competitors?
That's a good question. I think it's like you say, you just have to have that. I think everyone's played sports before. I think that's the biggest thing you can equate it to if you've ever been a part of basketball, football, volleyball, you did cheer competitions, right? Anything in life. You got to compete. You got to compete for your own last name. You got to compete for your brand. Got to compete for your own goals and dreams. If you don't, no one else will. So you just got to, I would say, find creative ways to stand up, be separate from the competition. But I think the biggest thing is just having the right systems in place that you can follow that can help you get the results that you want. If you can follow and duplicate the right systems in place, you'll scale ahead of your competition for sure. For me personally, I've realized that at the end of the day, in this industry, it's all about consistency and your work ethic, but also your character. If you can improve those things, you'll kind of get the results you want at an accelerated pace amongst other people, right? If you look at athletes or certain people in professions, why is LeBron better than most people? Why is Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan? What's different about them? I think it's their will to win, their obsession, but their consistency that most other people just don't put into their craft. So for me, I realized that early, and that's what our leadership said, right, is if you focus on your business, you get better at your craft, and God sees it, He'll, one, send the people your way, but you'll also attract the right people to grow your business at an accelerated rate. And that's just God. That's that God factor of you doing your part, He does his part. I think it says in the Bible, Paul plants, but Apollos waters. God is one that gives the increase. So I mean, you do your part, and you steward what you're supposed to do the right way. God is going to bring that increase, that supernatural increase that sets you apart from the rest of the competition, and you'll get the desired results and outcomes that you want for yourself. And go from there.
I love that response, but that's deep.
Yeah. If I'm going to add a few things to what Semi said, there is a saying that says that all things being equal, people buy from people that they like. And they say if all things are not equal, people also buy from people that they like. So I think the challenge for an agent is to make your client like you, or however you do it. If they like you, they trust you, then they'll buy from you. That's the same way, even for the people that are brokers, you find a way to make your team like you, because when they do that, they can also, you're prospecting them every day because you're giving them, you're guiding them, you're coaching them. They need to be in sync with you, and then that takes off from there.
And that's what I'm learning to find to be very true. I had an experience just the other day where I have an agent on my team who was trying to get someone to come to the office to receive the information. And she's been trying for months. And I did it on purpose because we were actually coming back from BOM, a business opportunity meeting. And I came and I was just saying, like, the income that we are making in the office, how we're scaling, how we're growing, how we're even taking our mentor and pushing him to a board council of one of the biggest companies. And as I was just talking to her, or I was talking to my agent, and she was on FaceTime with the person she was trying to bring out to the office, I was just talking out loud. And then the person said, "You're very convincing. She's been trying to tell me about this for months, and I haven't been listening. I might have to check this out." And I asked her because I was saying, someone in our office just got an extra $10,000 bonus. And I was just talking about what I would do with the extra $10,000. I was like, oh, if I had $10,000, I think I would pay for my rent 6 months in advance. You know, on the back end, just do the other things with my other finances. Just don't have to worry about it. I like catching my bills in advance. So, you know, and then, of course, my agent was like, oh, yeah, if I had $10,000, I would do X, Y, Z. And now the person she was on the phone with said, if I had $10,000, I'll pay off my student loans. I was like, wait, so you need $10,000?
There you go. You need an opportunity.
You need an opportunity.
Right.
So why have you not been open to the opportunity that she's presenting you if you just claim that you need it? And one thing that I love, and someone has taught me this, and it's stayed in my mind rent free. Pour. Passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Whoa, that's good. That's good.
Pour. The reason why a lot of people are poor is because they pass over these opportunities.
Absolutely. It's true.
So now it was just like, okay, I guess you're right. So I'm going to head out to the office. So now with being what we shared, being what we said, and just kind of understanding and putting it to our cultural perspective. Gents, where can our crowd find you on social media, connect with you, and learn from you? And how can we get together and actually present to them things that they feel like they need for their life?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, semi-automatic, or on LinkedIn, Facebook, Simisola, Ajima Tonga. But on Instagram, it's SIMI, automatic with the K at the end, right? So, but nonetheless, I would say the biggest thing is just collaborative effort. I'm big on helping, teach, and educate, and serving other people. We're all a big family right here, so we all have each other's back. We're really genuinely looking to help the next person change their financial future. If it's you, you're saying, hey, I want to make an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month part-time. That was me, and it changed my life. I guarantee you're going to learn more about money and finances. You get a license, you get started, the first guarantee is you'll learn more about money and finances. You're going to increase your overall financial literacy, which is a win-win for you and your family. So why not? Second is you're going to get a license and you're going to help people in your community. You're going to help people with life insurance, retirement planning, things that they actually need. And eventually they're going to use the things that you help them set up with, right? Because unfortunately everyone's going to pass away one day. Or they're going to eventually want to retire and you help them set that up. So that's the second guarantee, which is a win-win, and it's a no-brainer for you and your loved ones. The last guarantee is if you want to increase your income, you have to increase your identity. So in order to increase your identity, it's the books you read, the meetings you attend, and then the people you associate yourself with. So if you come, you work with us, you're going to be challenged to read more books, which is great, right? You're going to learn about different books that's going to help elevate your mindset. You're going to be around other people that make more income than you. If you are around people that make more income than you, you're probably going to be the next person to make more income, right? And then, right? And then again, it's the people you associate yourself with. You're going to associate yourself with high income earners, high identity people, and people that more importantly put God first, put their faith first, and that have high integrity and character. So yeah, that's the main thing. So I look forward to partnering up and working with some of you guys in the near future. And God bless.
Yeah, so for me, I'm on Instagram and also on Facebook. Noni Abo is the ID, NONYAGBO. And then just like something that Semi said, we're actually kind of in the same office. If you can Google PHP agency Carverton, you'll see our office. So if you're free, if someone invited you to that office, make it a point of this to be there, and then see what we're doing, and then it's going to benefit you. We've talked a lot about the benefits, so we'll look forward to seeing you in the office.
Y'all, you already know, go about your business podcast, because all 2025, guess what we doing? We minding our business and we going about our business. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. And we look for the next episode. Y'all, like, follow, subscribe, and share. The information is for all. Gents, thank you so much. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Let's
go.
Support the channel. Support the channel.
Yeah. Tap in. She's doing big things.
Subscribe, share. Let's make this go viral.
Oh, very.
I love what you're doing. God bless you. God is good. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are doing here. It takes a lot of faith to step out and do this. So I know God is going to bless you immensely and replenish you in a lot of different ways for doing this, because people really need this. So I'm proud of you. Keep it up, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. We doing it, y'all. We doing it. That's a wrap. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Miss Melanated from Go About Your Business podcast. If you guys found any value in this episode, like, share, and subscribe. You already know what we're doing. We're educating people all across our community. If you're curious about how to become a licensed broker, how to grow in your industry, and how to take leadership skills, mentoring skills to scale your business, you already know where to go. Follow me on all the social media handles and DM for more information. We are going to connect, we're going to grow, and we're also all going to win together.